The government recently implemented a new policy on all GovGuam employees with limits on their personal social media posts. Anything they post must be respectful, honest, and accurate in representation of the government. PNC spoke with government spokesperson Julia Sanchez, and PNC's Brittany Bell sought out the community's response.
I think events like the recent scare that we had on social media regarding MERS is a classic or a prime example of why we should have rules and guidelines when it comes to social media, especially with government employees using the authority of their position or the color of their position to put out information that could ultimately be illegal in terms of maybe sexual harassment, racial discrimination, and otherwise.
With the topic of social media being so prevalent right now, we went out into the community to find out what they think about this new government policy.
I think that it does hurt our freedom of speech because we have the right to say what we want. But at the same time, a lot of people say things that are too extreme. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Anything that's related to their employment, they shouldn't discuss any of that or any type of government issues.
I think it should be restricted just to be more professional because they're representing the government as the whole, for everybody.
Well, it would depend on what they're restricting you to post on, because even though you're part of the government doesn't mean you don't have your own opinion.
If you ask me, you should always maintain that level of professionalism as a government employee. It doesn't go away because we're expecting that you hold yourself to a higher standard.
Well, it depends on how it affects the people. If it's a negative opinion, then sure, you would feel that it would hurt people negatively. But if it's a positive opinion that people would agree on, then if it makes a change, a good change, then I really wouldn't care about your post. Because some people are afraid to speak for themselves, so it's better to speak for yourself.
The government has to let the employees have their freedom, but at the same time, the employees do have to be careful of what they post because they do have a responsibility also, and they can have the power to influence these people, and you don't want to influence the civilians in a way where it's going to cause a negative effect.
If you're a government leader, I'm going to look up to you as somebody who's, withholding these standards of what I should be looking at you as. And so, if you're going around posting things that aren't necessarily what I think you should be posting, then I think, yeah, you shouldn't be posting it. Why not, right?
I can understand why he would limit his employees to post, because I think there's some things that's just for government and other things that are not supposed to be on Facebook. But then I can see the part where people have a right to say what they need to say. It can go both ways.
If something like that ever applied to me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't see. I saw the governor's request and I saw the outline, and it just seemed pretty normal to me. And that's it's just more or less. It seems like it's more or less to keep us out of trouble.
While the public may continue in their usual social media habits, if a GovGuam employee violates the new policy, it may result in disciplinary action, including possible termination. Brittany Bell, PNC.